The Seattle region's public transit agency is keeping details about its search for a new CEO confidential, but transit advocates are saying the public deserves input into the hiring process. Western Washington reporter with the Center Square, Spencer Pauly, is here to share more about this story. Spencer, can you explain the situation?
Sure. So Sound Transit is the agency in charge of providing connecting transit services in the Puget Sound region. That includes King County, which includes the city of Seattle, also Pierce County and Snohomish County. And they are currently in the process of hiring its new next CEO. But at this point, the agency has narrowed down its list of candidates to 5, but they're not providing details on any of these candidates. Now, there is the transportation advocacy group called Seattle Subway, and they're saying the public deserves to know the names of the candidates and should be allowed to provide public input into the hiring process. Why? It's because Sound Transit has a lot of tax dollars towards their services and expansion projects. And what that means is the organization says, when you have Sound Transit, it's been experiencing a lot of costly delays to projects that adds up. And then there's also other issues with reliability issues. I use Sound Transit's light rail system to get around the city, and sometimes there are a lot of delays. And for people who might use this service to get to and from work, when you have a lack of reliability, you're going to find alternatives to using the light rail. And so what Seattle Subway is saying here is, if you're going to hire a new candidate, this new CEO, let us decide who should, let us have a say in this, I should say.
So you mentioned they're not releasing the names of the candidates, but we do know at least one of them. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So there is one candidate we do know about, and that is King County Executive Dow Constantine. He has been a Sound Transit board member for 15 years, and he was at one point the board of directors chair. And most notably, he was the chair when the agency was able to have voters approve a huge measure that funds expansion through 2041. Now that expansion, this levy totals $54 billion through that lifespan. So that's a huge amount of money going into that. But Seattle Subway is saying, Constantine has been with Sound Transit amongst these issues with reliability services and project delays. And so if we hire him as CEO, first off, that is a conflict of interest, is what Seattle Subway is saying. But they're also saying that, are we going to get more or less the same of this sort of issues and if we have Constantine in this role?
CEO of the Seattle area's public transit agency, that's a big job. It must be big money we're talking about here.
Huge. If you can easily look at the job listing on LinkedIn and other websites here that Sound Transit posted it. Funny enough for a CEO position, but still. That job listing shows a salary range of $450,000 to $650,000. That's an annual salary. That's a lot of money we're talking about. That's even more than what the interim CEO is currently making. Last year, Goran Sparman was appointed to become the interim CEO during this process, and his contract details were out there, and I report on this. That would hit an annual salary of $385,000. That was a good chunk of change, but now whoever this next CEO is going to be guaranteed making more money than that.
When is Sound Transit expected to hire its next CEO?
Well, it's going to happen sometime next March, they said. Hopefully, I should say. That was what the spokesperson told me. And I also asked them, I said, are you going to list the names of the candidates because there's a public outcry to do so? And they said no. These candidates, the Sound Transit's reasoning is if we reveal the names of these candidates, that could put them in danger with their current employers or stakeholders, whatever have you, because they would just let them know that they're on the out, ready to leave and move on. By providing these candidates the opportunity to be anonymous, it allows them to apply for this position. So that's their reasoning, at least.
Well, Spencer, thank you for your insights on this story. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.